Chapter 479, Wrath of the Psycho Toys. It starts at the estate and we were fast asleep and it was a dark and stormy night. There was an eerie presence in the air and something was terribly wrong. Two unknown figures made their way to the estate. They went into the estate and as quietly as possible. Chucky snuck into Lincoln's room and hit him in the head with a bottle and knocked him out and tied him up. Mr. Coconuts, however, was a whole new different matter. He snuck up to Luan's room and went in and he snuck up to her as she was sleeping. "Hey, keep sleeping. Yat. Roll over on your side." Luan rolls over on her side. "Yat. When you wake up, you should pack up your bags and leave. Never come back." Luan wakes up. "Hey." She goes to where Mr. Coconuts is when he suddenly turned around to face her. "Mr. Coconuts, this is my house now." Luan, scared off. "Oh. Mr. Coconuts, you don't deserve to be in this house. I'm the one coming up with all the jokes. I got to support my own family." Motions to a group of dummies by the window that are apparently his family. Luan screamed and ran out of the room with Mr. Coconuts in hot pursuit. She tried slamming the door on him but he remained intact. "Mr. Coconuts, Luan, you're cracking me up." In Spider-Man's apartment he was talking to Robbie Robertson, who was made the new president and CEO of the Daily Bugle after J. Jonah Jameson was disgraced and thrown in jail forever. Suddenly he heard Luan scream, "Spider-Man, oh." He went to the estate and saw Luan and Lincoln gone. "Me, Barry and Rachel came in." "Me, what's going on?" "Spider-Man, Luan and Lincoln are gone. We found their rooms ransacked." "Me, boy, whoever did this means business." "Barry, yep." "Rachel, who did this?" "Luna, I don't know dude, but Mr. Coconuts is gone too. I used my ultraviolet vision and saw tiny footprints on the floor." "Me, these footprints weren't made by circus midgets. These were made by something else. I saw a necklace on the floor and it was a medallion. I then recognized it and gasped in horror." "Me, gasp. This medallion is the heart of Damballa." "Lucy, gasp. The heart of Damballa is said to transfer your soul into anyone or anything." "Me, I know only one person that has this kind of power." We go to the computer and I pull up the information. I pull up the information on the notorious Illinois serial killer Charles Lee Ray. "Me, his name is Charles Lee Ray, aka the Lakeshore Strangler." "Luna, dude. I've heard all about him. He was rumored to have been terrorizing all of Illinois in the body of a good guy doll. Lola, those very popular toys that have been under a lot of scrutiny because of it." "Me, that's right. For the past 30 years those dolls have come under a lot of turmoil because of those rumors. But there was never any proof behind it. Only one person came into contact with this evil toy, Andy Barkley. I pull up his info. Lori, he's so young. Me, this was him back in 1988. He has a really bad history with this guy that spans over 30 years. He and his mother were attacked by Chucky and because of that they tried to convince everyone that Charles Lee Ray was a good guy doll out for blood. But this all went south. Big time." "Lynn, how?" "Me, his mother wound up in a mental hospital and Andy was placed into the foster care system." "Lori, that's literally horrible." "Very. Charles Lee Ray is a psychopathic monster." "Lainey, if that's not level 22 on the scale of evil, I don't know what is." "Me, my thoughts exactly. He killed over 60 people over the course of 30 years and he will kill anyone that gets in his way. We believe that the death toll is higher than that." "Jimmy Neutron, this reminds me of the time where my dad's dummy Flippy came to life." "Stewie, really?" "Carl Wheezer, it's a long story." "Me, we'll have to hear it later." Linka, so what does he want with Luan and Lincoln? Me, my guess is their bodies and I'm willing to bet that he got Mr. Coconuts possessed by an evil force. They're going to transfer into their bodies so they can use their powers to destroy all of civilization. Everyone gasped in horror. Lana, those little monsters. Lila, I hate that doll. Lily, do you have a history with Charles Lee Ray, Lila? Lila, no. But after everything that's happened and what we heard, we need to destroy this monster once and for all. Me, my thoughts exactly. And I know where he's taking them. Lucy, where? Me, to the Play Pals toy factory in Chicago, Illinois. Rachel, we have to stop him for good. Me, and we will ratch. Also, we're gonna need Chucky alive and show everyone in a press conference in Washington, D.C. that Andy and his mother were telling the truth. Nico, Lola, Venom, Ty, Aghuman, Nicole, you come with me. Nicole, you got it, Dad. Me, if I know the Child's Play movies from all those years ago, then we're in serious trouble. Let's go. We set out for the Play Pals toy factory. Chucky and Mr. Coconuts were dragging Lincoln and Luan's knocked out bodies into the factory. Chucky, all right. Do you remember what we have to do after we take over these kids' bodies? Mr. Coconuts, of course I do. We have to meet up with this guy named Bill McLemore who will take us to the Legion of Doom hideout. Chucky, glad to hear that you remember the plan. I can't wait to cause so much destruction with those superpowers. They got ready for the ritual. They placed their hands on their heads and began to chant the incantation. Chucky and Mr. Coconuts, Aid du Dambola. Valenchella Santeria. Oya Shungo Yenya Makumba. Give us the power, we beg of you. Storm clouds built over the factory and the ritual was underway. Levo mercier du boitio. Secois enchen mais pois de mort. Suddenly the ritual was interrupted by a massive fiery explosion blasting a hole through the roof of the factory. Flaming debris rained down and set most of the toys and equipment on fire. We landed in Aghuman was now the dinosaur Digimon, Greymon. Me, Charles Lee Ray, you're under arrest. Chucky, JD. Knudsen. You will pay for everything you've done. You're a censored monster. Ty, the only monster is you. We've had it with you. You're toast, you wretched freak. Venom, your leadership is impressive, Ty. Ty, thanks Venom. Greymon, you will pay for this atrocity, Chucky. Nicole fired a blast of magic and removed the evil spirit from Mr. Coconuts and sealed it into the Book of Vile Darkness. Nicole, you're next, Chucky. Chucky, no. You little censored. Do you realize what you all have just done? Me, no we don't, and we don't care. I kicked Chucky in the face and sent him crashing through a wall of toys. He got out and screamed in sheer rage. He went at us and he stabbed me in the leg with a knife. Sheen. My blood squirted onto his face and burned his eyes off. He screamed in pain as his eyes were dissolved. Me, my blood is a poisonous substance that can burn anything on contact. I pulled the knife out and the blade was melted. Chucky, let's see how you face them too. We got an unexpected shock when we saw all the good guy dolls come to life. Greymon, what's going on? Me, he must have split his soul and transfer it into all of the good guy dolls in the factory years ago. That monster. Dolls, that's right. Now you will die. Psychotic laughter. Me, not a chance in hell, you censored piece of censored filth. Venom, let's use our combo. Greymon. Greymon, you got it, Venom. Venom fired a black spider web. Greymon, echoing, Nova Blast. Greymon fired a huge fireball from his mouth. Venom and Greymon, Nova Web burst. The black web became a flaming spider web and it lacerated most of the dolls into flaming rubble. Luan and Lincoln woke up. Lincoln, in pain, ow. My head. What hit me? Luan, groans. I have the worst headache. Nicole, Luan, Lincoln, thank goodness you two are all right. Luan, thanks Nicole. Where are we? Me, punches a doll. you're in the Play Pals toy factory in Chicago, Illinois, and you both were kidnapped by infamous serial killer, Charles Lee Ray. Luan, gasp. I remember now. Mr. Coconuts came to life and he knocked me out. Nicole, he was possessed by an evil force and he and Chucky were going to transfer their souls into your bodies and use your powers to destroy the world. Lincoln, that monster. Nicole, I removed the evil force from Mr. Coconuts and he's back to normal. Luan, thanks Nicole. I'm glad you're alright Mr. Coconuts. As Mr. Coconuts, thanks Luan. Sorry I knocked you out and kidnapped you and Lincoln. Normal voice, it's okay. Let's teach this monster a lesson he will never forget. Lincoln, you said it sis. They joined the fight. I was slashing apart some dolls with my sword and blowing their heads off with my gun. Me, there's so many of them. Luan, let's use our combo Nico. Nico, you got it Luan. Luan called her Claymore and Nico too and they fired a Crescent Moon energy hammer. Luan and Nico, Crescent Moon tenderizer. The hammer splattered the doll's blood and limbs everywhere. Me, that was awesome. Venom, it sure was. Lincoln fired blasts of lightning and electrocuted them and they exploded and splattered everywhere. Luan fired light blasts at them and burned them to pieces. I fired fire blasts and burned them to ash. We blew them apart and burned them and Nicole sealed all the soul fragments of Chucky into the Book of Vile Darkness. We killed them all until the original Chucky was left. Me, you're coming with us Chucky. Chucky, never you, censored. He then somehow used telepathic powers and threw a box over and I slash it to pieces and kick him in the face and knock him out. I wrap him in a straitjacket. I saw a lump in his pocket. Me, what's this? I reach into his pocket and pull it out and it was a talisman with a rooster on it. I gasped when I saw it. Me, gasp. It's the rooster talisman. Lincoln, that is strange. Nicole, oh man. I know those talismans all too well. They are the talismans of Shendu. Me, I've heard legends about these talismans. They each have specials powers that are omnipotent and their power is incredible. There are 12 of them and they each represent an animal on the Chinese zodiac. Lincoln, I've heard about the Chinese zodiac. Nico, I know that too. Luan, what do these talismans do? Me, they have incredible powers in one of each of them. This one, the rooster has the powers of telekinesis and even grants the user to fly. Tai, that's really strange. Greymon, it sure is Tai. Venom, yeah. Suddenly huge explosions rang out. Me, uh-oh. This whole place is gonna blow. I grabbed Chucky and we got out of there and the whole factory exploded into a massive fireball with the power of 40 tons of nitroglycerin. Crab. The whole factory was gone and was now a raging fireball burning out of control. Nico, that was a close one. Me, it sure was. Chucky woke up and he was infuriated. Chucky, you, censored, ruined everything. Tai, and now you will pay for it. Nicole, I have a strong feeling that Chucky's evil soul is still all over the country. Let me check. She did so and found that he was everywhere. She sent a wave of magic and removed his soul fragments from the good guy dolls all over the country and sealed them into the Book of Vile Darkness. Nicole, it's done. Later that day I called a press conference in Washington, D.C. and it was being broadcasted nationwide. Me, good afternoon everyone. I'm sorry to interrupt your activities but earlier this morning my friends Luan and her little brother Lincoln Loud were kidnapped by the evil, ruthless, and notorious serial killer Charles Lee Ray that is inhabiting the body of a popular toy doll franchise called the Good Guy Dolls. Fellow citizens of the United States of America. I walk over to a case. Me, I give you Charles Lee Ray, the Lakeshore Strangler in the flesh. I pull the tarp off of it and it showed Chucky inside a tempered glass case and he was thrashing around like mad trying to get out. He was also swearing like crazy. Everyone all over the country gasped in sheer horror. But everyone in Illinois were the ones that was most affected, and they saw that everything Andy Barkley and his mother said was all true. Me, Charles Lee Ray aka Chucky, was responsible for terrorizing all of Illinois over the course of 30 years ever since 1988, and the one that he wanted above all else was the body of Andy Barkley. He wanted to transfer his soul into his body so he can be human again. He wanted his body above all others. When that didn't happen, he killed anyone that got in his way. The death toll over the course of 30 years rose to 67 people, making him one of the most dangerous psychotic serial killers in American history. The entirety of his killings were all in Illinois, and he terrorized all of the state to the core. In 1988, the police were on his tail and he was mortally wounded. In a toy store as a last resort, he transferred his soul into the body of a good guy doll and inhabited his body. An incredible explosion destroyed his body and Andy got the doll he possessed. That's when the nightmare began, and everything that happened over the course of 30 years began. After the first attack, no one believed him or his mother. Until now. Charles Lee Ray senselessly and ruthlessly slaughtered and butchered 67 people with not a single shred of remorse or guilt, and he terrorized the entirety of Illinois and destroyed the lives of numerous families around the country. With me is Andy Barkley himself, along with his adopted sister Kyle and Andy's fiancée Nico Pierce. Andy is the primary target of Charles Lee Ray himself, and Nico was possessed by Chucky until we removed a fragment of his soul from her and helped her regain her soul. Andy took the podium. Andy, that's right. My name is Andy Barkley and I was the intended victim of Chucky. He made everyone believe that my mother was insane, tried to ruin my military training at a military academy, and also ruined several lives all over the state of Illinois. He ruined my family and my future. Not only that, but he destroyed so many lives. This monster is a menace to everyone he comes into contact with. He ruined so many people, and for that he must pay for everything he has done. Me, I couldn't agree more. Chucky, begging, Andy please. I was only playing. Me, you said that before. Playtime is over. Permanently. The entire country was shocked. We had Chucky condemned to 67 death sentences and had him executed by fire. We had flamethrowers ready and we incinerated him into ash. We burned all the good guy dolls and gathered all their ashes and hurled them into the fires of the Sunday, erasing all traces of them from all of existence forever. Chucky's evil spirit went into the book of vile darkness forever. The terror of Charles Lee Ray, the Lakeshore Strangler, had been silenced forever. Burn in hell, Chucky. And stay there. Back at the estate, we were glad and elated that Chucky was gone for good. Lewin, that monster is gone forever. Lincoln, you said it, Lewin. He was a bad dummy. Rimshot. Lewin, laughs. Good one, Lincoln. Me, it sure was. Ty, what really infuriates me is also the fact that Jameson wanted to smear all superheroes all over the place badly. Me, I know. He was a parasite. Robbie is a much better boss for the Daily Bugle than Jameson was. Linka, yep. Me, I have a strong feeling that there are more horror monsters out there, and they have one of each of the 12 talismans out there. We already have one, and we have to be ready for them and kill anyone affiliated with Shendu that gets in our way. Lincoln, yeah. The end. Another fanfiction complete. This is the first part of the horror saga. This saga is gonna feature one of each of the greatest horror movie monster and slasher monsters. Chucky is the first one because out of all the slasher movies I've seen in the trailers and more, Child's Play 2 and 3 were the ones that didn't scare me at all. Chucky is the most insane of them all, and I wanted to do all these for Halloween coming up. Brad Dourif, Alex Vincent, and more did a fantastic job in those movies over the course of 30 years. Nico-chan 11 gave me the ideas for them. Thanks for that, man, as usual. We're gonna do one chapter for each monster a day. Next up is the ruthless Michael Myers from the Halloween series. I originally had him planned first because he came into theaters on October 19th later this week. So get ready for 12 chapters of terror and I hold a flashlight under my face. Diabolical voice. It will leave you scared to death. Malevolent laughter. But let me know what you all think. See you all next time. Child's Play franchise is owned by Don Mancini and Universal Studios.